Friends, good morning and welcome. We are glad that you're here. This is a unique day and service, so if you are a guest, relax. You'll get instructions on what to do. We're going to do some small group conversations as part of our worship this morning. We have our Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving feast. We hope you'll stick around and be with us today. But we begin with our call to worship as an adapted poem from Blossoms by Leon. So join in the bold part. From Blossoms comes this brown paper bag of peaches we bought from the boy at the bend in the road where we turned toward signs painted peaches. From lady rose, from hands, from sweet fellowship within, comes nectar at the roadside, succulent peaches we devour, dusty skin and all, comes the familiar dust of summer, dust we eat. Oh, to take what we love inside, to carry within us an orchard, to eat not only the skin but the shade, not only the sugar but the days, to hold the fruit in our hands, adore it, then bite into the round, jubilance of peach. There are days we live as if death were nowhere in the background, from joy to joy to joy, from wing to wing, from blossom to blossom, to impossible blossom, to sweet impossible blossom. From joy to joy to joy, let us summon our jubilance to be with each other in the presence of divine sweetness. short readings today. On this day when we're doing several things, we're going to be in conversation with one another, but this is the day that we kind of landed on to celebrate the 190th anniversary of this congregation, begun in 1835. And so 190 years of joy, of connection, of togetherness, of singing, of prayer, and of service. You sit here today connected to a long tradition of folks who found gladness in this way of being together in the world. So 2 short readings. First from John 15, this is Jesus speaking. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in God's love. I have said these things to you, so that my joy may be in you, and so that your joy may be complete. Our second reading, a quotation from the artist Agnes Martin, whose art is on the front side of the bulletin, and she's talking here about what inspires her creativity. And she says this, quote, "If you wake up in the morning and feel very happy about nothing, no cause, that's what I think about." Friends, we come in this time of the service where we share our offering and our gifts. This is our pledge season. We're asking everybody connected to our community who's able to make a financial pledge. So today, as the offering plate is passed, if you have a gift or an offering, wonderful to receive that. If you have a financial pledge you're able to make for the coming budget year, we will receive that as well. If you need a card to fill out, feel free to get up and go back and grab it. about 15 minutes in each group. There is on the back side of your printed bulletin, there should be a little number there. That's the group you'll start in. And so if you're in group 1, don't leave yet, so you give instructions. Group 1, you're going to go out and fellowship hall with Maddie. You're going to start there. Right? If you have a 2 on it, you're going to start in the chapel room back there with James and Martine, and your papers are back there, guys. And if you have a 3, you're going to start at this circle right here at the back of the sanctuary. So Maddie is leading a conversation, a little discussion about discovering your spiritual gifts, like how are you wired to make a difference in the world and to serve others. James and Martine are talking about how we can improve our offerings for fellowship and education here in the congregation. And all of these conversations, by the way, are growing out of the congregational assessment that we all took last spring. Part of what we heard was more of this, more creative kind of worship time, more small group conversations. That's one reason we're doing it. But there was an articulation of a need for help, kind of figuring out our gifts and how to use them. There was an expressed need for more and different kinds of events and experiences to be in relationship together, to fellowship, and to learn together about the faith. That's what that group's about. My group is a little brief budget education seminar on how do we resource our ministries around here. That was also a need for just education about how does this work financially. So that'll be my group. I'll try to keep this running. So the first group should be 11:15. The second group should be, we rotate at 11:30, 11:45. And we need to be back in here and we'll sing at noon and then we'll eat. Okay, and if you are joining us online today, don't worry, we got you covered. Deanna is going to carry the tablet around and you'll be part of the groups too. Okay, have I confused everyone?
No.
Does this make sense? You know, you won't be arrested if you start at the wrong group, but let's try to even out. Okay, blessings as you go, and I'll try to keep us on time as we rotate. Group 1 starts out in fellowship hall. Group 2 starts back in the chapel area. Group 3 starts in the back of the sanctuary here.
Do we rotate clockwise or counterclockwise?
I'm Jared. We've met before. So lucky group starts budgeting numbers. A deep spiritual experience.
Thank you for making it visual.
Well, I didn't give you numbers. I gave you pie charts. And actually, this is the person right here to thank for the creation of these graphs. I asked Deanna to help me with this. So welcome. Let's do names real quick, and then we'll jump in. We got time. Jared, interim pastor here. Let's go this way.
Nico, I sing in the choir. Paul.
Debbie.
Richie.
Not Debbie also. Yes.
Debbie also. Debbie too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. And so, I'll talk about these graphs a little bit, and then just see what questions you have. Really, those two groups are talking about the things they're talking about because people said we want more of that. When we met with our consultant who did the assessment, the woman who's an expert in kind of leading these assessments pointed out to us that there was very kind of low urgency about financial stewardship, resourcing matters in the church. And she just said, that's odd, because, any nonprofit, any church always struggles financially. That's just where we are. And so she's like, I think, that this should be on your list of things to kind of better educate people about how the church resources its ministry. So that's the kind of impetus for why this is one of the conversations today. So Deanna split this up. Now, first of all, don't take these percentages with too much literalness. This is kind of an estimate. This is some likely projections for 2026, so this could change a little bit. But this is kind of largely a reflection of mirrors this year's budget pretty well. So up on top, you've got church income. So how do we get the monies we need to make things happen? So top right, dark blue. So here's giving. So we're in a pledge campaign right now. So some people make a pledge. They say, during 2026, I'll give, I will be able to give this much, and I'll give it monthly or weekly or whatever, right? So that's pledge giving. Other people give, but they don't make a pledge, right? And other people, loose offering is just money. That's probably anonymous money, right? Just cash that gets in that we don't know where it comes from. So nobody's getting a tax write-off for that, but we're still glad to get it. Anyway, so that's that chunk, about, what does that say, 23%? About a quarter. We're lucky to have a special gift that a person makes from a retirement account, and that's another, more than a fourth. That's a special gift. Grants, about 2%, so we're grateful for those grants. That largely comes from our presbytery to resource our showers ministry. Would that be right, Deanna? Is there any other grants?
Yeah, it's like mission grant.
Yeah. Skip the purple because I'm going to come back to that. Jump up to the lighter blue, shared spaces, rental income. So we have Willow Woods, the daycare, in the building behind us. We have had the Warwick Theater tenants up in that office area upstairs. They have moved out, and we're just in the process of signing a new lease with a new tenant for a little more income, which is good. But that's what that piece of the income pie is. Now the purple. We are incredibly grateful to have an endowment. What is an endowment? An endowment is a pile of money that we have due to the generosity of, well, maybe people present, but also people in the past, right? So those are investment savings from which we can draw interest. But that number at 30% or so is way too high. So you want this purple part to be as small as possible. And basically, how do we get that number that we draw from our endowment to supplement our operating income? That's basically the gap between our income and our expenses.
We, at the end of the month, when we need to pay our bills and there's not enough money in there, I just call up Karen and say we need to transfer money from our savings to pay our bills.
Yeah, and over the course of a year, that's, more than a quarter of our income needed to cover our expenses, and that's, we're grateful to have that money, but we're using it at a clip that's not sustainable. So that's, our goal is to increase our income and or decrease our expenses so that that purple part of this pie gets smaller. That's the project. So look down, and let me talk through expenses, then I'll stop and see what questions, comments you all have. So church expenses, I asked Deanna to split out some of these categories that we don't always split out in accounting, just so you can see kind of where our money goes. We pastor types like me are really expensive, so the full fourth of our budget is clergy expenses, so salary and healthcare and pension and all that kind of stuff. We have church staff, would that be musicians and vocalists and you?
That's just me and Renee, because I put all of our like 1099 contractor people under personnel.
Okay, so our vocalists would be, and would be under personnel other. There's some mission giving, which we do. There's a lot more money that goes to missions than that because we don't characterize a lot of what happens through our showers ministry in this particular graph. But anyway, there's mission giving, mission staff, so there are folks that we hire particularly to work with the showers ministry. Building expenses is a big chunk. Custodial service and supplies, 5%. Insurance for the building is expensive, that's 10%. Security and parking, we're in Westport, so security is just kind of a necessary part of life. Utilities, 9%. That number, is that reflective about what last year is? We're hoping that number comes down a little bit due to our solar panels, but
$45,000 left.
Yeah.
You pitched utilities expenses last year, so.
yeah. And then a little bit in office expenses and other overhead. So
the ways that we can move towards sustainability are to increase our income, and of course we want our church to grow and people to feel good about what we're doing so that they're excited to give and participate, but also need to be creative in terms of like how can we lower some of our expenses as well. So let me stop there. And what questions about anything, comments? Did this surprise any of you? For most churches and nonprofits, personnel is usually between 50 and 60%. So that's not surprising that that's the case with us. We have a wonderful building, but yeah, it is expensive to manage. So that's why some of those expenses are up. And we're a small congregation, right? So anytime, we're how many members do we have now, Debbie? Maybe 40? Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. And we have 30 or so, average 30, 35 maybe on Sunday mornings. Maybe more, I don't know. But around there. And yeah, so anytime you're a small congregation, it's hard to make its meet. Jim?
Just another note, we're relying on the new streetcar to affect the Indians in this community.
Yeah.
For involving more people.
Am I correct that you took the streetcar there the first time? I don't know if you did today. Hallelujah. Debbie's here and rode the streetcar, so that's kind of exciting. And how is it on a Sunday morning? Is there many people on it?
No, I was with seats.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's great. And you're in the Union Hill neighborhood?
Yeah.
That's great.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
One's kind of a silly question.
There's no silly questions, Randy.
With the building, because I don't know much of the history of it.
Yep.
Is the property, is it paid off like we own it
Yeah.
now, or do we still have a mortgage that we are paying?
Great question. There's no mortgage, so the building is paid off. So this is all improvements, maintenance, things go wrong, HVAC. Like we had, we had a boiler, 2 boilers? What was the big expense?
The compressors on the HVAC, there's like 18 or 20 of them on the roof, and like several exploded, and every time one exploded, it was like $18,000 to
Yeah.
repair it. Like horrible.
Yeah.
Like yeah. So most of it is all like repairs, building repairs, and like we have contracts with the elevator service company and the HVAC company to come and like change all the filters all over the building like twice a year, stuff like that. So and we've got a landscaping company that tries to help keep the weeds under control. So it's a lot of the contracts like that. And
Elevator.
repair.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't actually owe anything on the property, which is nice.
Do we get any income from Willow Woods?
Yeah. Yeah.
What would that be listed under?
That is under shared spaces, so that's mainly Willow Woods, and then our tenants up in that room. Any other rental
Yeah,
income?
we get, I mean, like,
Oh, just
small
events.
amounts, like, we have like, different, like, support groups use the building, and they, like, take little collections, and, like, Children's Mercy does luncheons, so we get, like, some money from those kind of events, and, like, Westport Center for the Arts does, concerts, and then they pay us, like, a rental fee for that, stuff like that.
So we're trying to do things to save money. So we used to supply the custodial care for Willow Woods, and we renegotiated a lease with them, just being honest about kind of moving in the future in the ways of win-win. And so they're now taking care of that, which saved us some money. We moved to, we had a custodial service, which was A, kind of expensive, and B, not that good. It was fine while it lasted, but anyway, we have now 2 part-time custodians. Paul is one, and Dave, and our building is in much cleaner, and we're spending a little less money. So that's a big win.
Maybe I need to renegotiate.
You do need to renegotiate, Paul. I shouldn't have said that with our custodian sitting here. Right. Take it up with Deanna. She handles this stuff. And did you have another one?
My second question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
No,
This is a good
sorry.
conversation.
Good
No,
bounce.
this is a great conversation, please. One thing in the realm of income as potential like goals or visions, if you have, I don't know. But I believe more special events and
Yes.
event revenue an idea as another stream of income. So like opening up this space to the neighborhood, any organization and using that, is that part of the mission also?
It is, and yeah, part of moving to having a couple of part-time custodians, that makes it more possible to do that, and we've kind of done a lot of work on budget and reflected that in event rental fees and stuff for weddings, and that's on the website. So we are positioned now where we could do it before, but it's just we're better set up to handle that kind of stuff now because it takes a little doing, and Josh can help with some of the event planning if need be for now. And so yes, we would love that piece of the pie. So that top left lighter blue piece, that would be great to grow that.
I think potentially like one thing that is like just so untapped right now is like weddings, because I think like this is a beautiful space. So
Got it. Okay.
like people would want to have their weddings
Yeah.
here, but we just haven't really been advertising.
And a wedding coordinator who we've been in conversation with said, this is a great space for people at weddings. So, and we're in Midtown. It's a good spot. So the last thing I want to say is thank you for your gifts and your pledges. Another thing I want to mention, don't tell me now, but if you either have a bequest, so you have it in your will that a chunk of your estate goes to the church, thank you. Or if you're willing to consider that, talk to me. We need to get a schedule of bequests, and so because I'm new, I don't know who has bequests with the church. So if you already have one, please let me know. If you're interested in conversations about making a bequest in part of your estate, see me too. Okay, you all are group 3, so you're going group 1 in the fellowship hall. Yep.
We go that way.
It's group 3? Okay,
Yeah, so we're rotating.
perfect.
Whee!
You literally brought in so many spiritual gifts. Yes, you did. Hello. Do you want to take a second and sit down and talk about spiritual gifts? Or take a second to just breathe? Yeah.
What? I can't, the ovens are so full, I can't get stuff
So you
on.
guys just came from the budget conversation with Jared? Oh, yeah. I'm an elder, sir. I am an elder. That's all I got. Alright, oh, I do have handouts. So here's one. Basically, this is just a small group to talk about spiritual gift giving and how you can utilize your gifts and talents and channel it in a way that speaks to you spiritually, whether you're helping others or simply helping yourself. So a really good example prior was we were talking about the gift of the choir music. We talked about the gift of community service, whether it's Westport Showers or Westport Center for the Arts or any other task that you might view as a task but really speaks to your soul and gives to your community. So starting out, were there things that people might want to try? Things that you see other people doing, giving, that you're like, oh, that seems like something I'd be interested in. Or they're. Also, these are questionnaires that you can take home, leave here. If you want to continue a conversation with Jared about anything that's on this, he's very open to having a meeting. So. Another thing I have to say because I'm a leader.
Say the question again.
There's several questions. So there's several questions. We don't have to answer all of them. We could. My favorite one is, what kind of experiences or opportunities get you excited or make you feel alive? What gives you energy, especially in regards to being here in this space, interacting with the practice of Christianity or God or spiritual belief? What makes you feel like you could go run a mile or something?
The choir music, I love.
Yeah.
I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah. That was very nice.
I think it's fair to say we will get energy
When I figured out what you guys. That's Marcus's fault.
What about the potlucks? Those, I like the potlucks. They give me a little energy. No, I don't. No, I get to eat, and that's great.
But I remember I even told last week, I told Jennifer, Friendsgiving's next week. Who forgot this one?
One thing that is not happening right now, but we had, like, I was involved for like many years in children's Peace Quest program, and then when that ended, we did like a arts and spirituality like camp in the summertime.
Yeah.
And I got to like be involved in like working with like a bunch of kids on a lot of like craft art projects where they explored like spiritual themes, and we did like a bunch of paintings and stuff. It was really fun. Like,
Oh, I think I remember Ollie, like they had the art display
yeah,
here.
we did like they did so many like really cool things that like they had enough to put it through a whole show like within that week. It was really cool.
I remember I bought a piece from Ollie for like $5, and I have it in my living room.
Yeah, so I guess like sharing like my creative talents, I guess, especially with like younger people.
I like that. Yeah, well, I mean, not here, in other groups for sure, because, you know, he was here, and so he was talking about how there's the giving of energy and then the filling up of energy. And so in the morning, that's a very big giving of energy. And then afterwards, it's great to have our hour of church and hear music and look at art, because then that fills your cup back up. And so it's always making sure that you're able to fill the cup up even while you are draining and giving. You have to have that really fine balance, and I think that is something that we need to make sure that we're doing, and that's why this feedback is really critical from you all. Because, you know, what drains your cup is good, you know, feeding people, giving people showers, cleaning the kitchen after it's been, you know, completely.
Who wants to come home with me?
But, you know, then you have to remember the ways that your cup fills by sharing food with people who.
Sometimes interactions can fill your cup, you know, with a shower guest.
That's true.
Well, I was just, I don't know if this is really the right place to discuss, but we were kind of making fun of the potlucks. But I mean, conversation, community, that's actually one of the reasons that when we visited 15 years ago that we stayed, is because we felt like there was a very strong community in this tiny church. Did a lot of gathering, a lot of socializing. People made us feel welcome very quickly, and you know, I think that's very important. And that's not to get everybody, but I think it's good. Some people just so I like having all these things that we do. Unfortunately, I can't do the happy hours that we're doing, because that's after I teach. That's when I come clean. So, but I like that they're available. And hopefully, one of these days we'll be able to get in a couple just to again go hang out, talk, get to know people better, and that's what these are fun for. Is just get to have conversations to find out about it. And I think that is one of the ways that people will come in and stay because they feel comfortable.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like the potlucks.
Friendliness and hospitality as spiritual gifts. I don't know.
I mean, you're the face of the church, so like people during the week, while it's not necessarily Sunday, are coming to you, and you know you're kind of the point person then in that case.
Mostly it's pretty quiet during the week, but
I think getting people to feel comfortable can be a spiritual gift. And again, it doesn't, you won't get 100%, but as a teacher, one of the things I've tried to do my entire career is we're a big family. And I want you to feel comfortable here. We're still rules and regulations. I want you to feel safe to come to me if there's a problem. And you know, that works for a lot. Not all.
wonder, is there a way to almost explicitly say that upon entry to our church? I know that the pride flags are very helpful with that. I know that the art that we showcase is very helpful with that. The music, if someone walks in and hears it.
Yeah.
I'm wondering though, is there anything else that maybe?
I mean, sometimes as simple as when we're passing the peace, it's like, are you new? My name is Paul. Nice to meet you. Hope you come back.
One thing I advise in another church is to hold an evening class on something or other, a topic of, say, history. I think we leave college and then we get involved in the workaday world, and I can enjoy having something like that provides a group discussion of a topic. And I know that can be hard to fit into our individual schedules, but and it takes a certain size perhaps to achieve a quorum-sized grouping attending such a thing. But to me, that would be an ideal component for the future.
I wonder if there's ever been group volunteering experiences. If we've ever gone out together to work at a food pantry in Kansas City, like Harvesters, or volunteered at like an event in town, like Kansas City Marathon or something like that, or parades and other things like that, where we just show up and we're there together and we're in community as a community.
I do like that because a lot of our volunteerism is so isolated to this church that going out then is kind of, how we can then integrate ourselves with the community. We have a great community here, but it's so insular that if someone comes in, they might be a little put off by how tight-knit it is. It can be, it's not necessarily cliquish, as we are very welcoming people, but it's intimidating. But then if you go out, I think what we were working on with the pride parades and trying to pass out bottles of water, but that meant that people had to come in, whereas we could have just gone out to pass out bottles of water. And that is full integration.
And carry around how many bottles of water?
You just have a wagon.
Yeah, I'd pull a wagon.
People were real Christian. I was here during that time, and it was starting to rain. And a lot of people came in without the rain. They were very thankful that we had our restrooms available to them, water bottles. So people are aware of that we're willing to say, come in the rain, use the facilities.
Yeah.
But we are a small community, and we have so much going on here. It's hard to cover it all. There's just a number of people that do the showers and the foods for the shower ministry, and I don't know. I look around the congregation, and there are not a whole lot of people to staff all the things that we do. I think it's amazing that we get accomplish what we do.
It is tiring. For sure. But I think that's one of the things that we're working to overcome.
More people would help.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Pardon? Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, being here for a long time, I mean, it definitely feels different now than it did when we had 50 to 60 people attending church on a Sunday. It just felt like there was a lot more help with everything. I mean, we had Sunday school, we had usher rotations, 2 people every Sunday. First Sunday, we had 2 people doing that. We had 2 people doing, we had 8 or 10 people doing Sunday school rotations, where you'd get one Sunday, this group of 2 people would be teaching Sunday school. We had a lot more people pool to draw from. So, yeah, I think growth is going to be important because it's going to just really help a lot. If they figure that out.
We've got the street car now, and we've got apartment buildings on both sides of it, so we've got, there are people around here.
I guess that's true. They would let us put in flyers.
We got to find our people. I don't know how you find them. But.
Well, I look at it this way, if one or two people from each of those apartment buildings came, they probably know people in other places. You know, if they like it, you know, it's just, you know, we're not gonna get 80 next week. You know, we need to get a couple here and a couple there.
Put on a welcome to the neighborhood type of event, you know.
That's a good idea.
Make it even be down on the storefront.
I think the storefront would be a great place for that, because it's on the street level, the stairs can be intimidating to go up and you're like entering a church. Whereas the storefront, it doesn't appear to really be, you know, church for the time.
We need to snag Steve next time he's in town.
Steve Dioli?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about making some commercials.
Oh.
There's at least 2 actors in my family. And see what it costs to put them on television.
All right, thank you, everyone. You can take your questionnaire or leave it, do whatever you want with it. Yeah, I got extras. There you are.
Excuse me.
Time's up. Kick him out.
Get out of here.
It's been getting dark for 5 years. It's bright in here.
Just want to sit on this side. This is group 3. I think it's split group 2 and half.
So we're looking for ideas for new opportunities for education, fellowship, relationships, stuff that would create more opportunities for people to form meaningful relationships, or provide more opportunities for Christian education and spiritual formation. What are your thoughts?
Well, we talked about some of this actually in the last place about how, like the potlucks are popular and just having these different things where we can get together and socialize, which I think is kind of funny No, that's,
Well, good.
no, that was just a comment, not
Yeah,
that.
no,
Yeah,
totally.
but we were talking about how these are good opportunities for us to
Yeah.
get together, you know, like the happy hour, which I can't go to. But, you know, that's a great opportunity for someone to go and build a relationship with the church people in a different setting.
Mhm.
You know, and then, you know, we always snack after church, which is nice. People like that, we hang out. And I know this is, to save time, it'd be nice if the choir members have more time to hang out and talk before they have to start choir, their choir practice. Because sometimes we just sit down and start a conversation, oh, I gotta go. Okay.
I think it would be great if, like faculty members from UMKC, an item for their annual resume of activity to say, well, I delivered a presentation about my special topic, my specialty. And I went over to this happening community of Westport and gave it at the church here, on a weekday evening of the church. And some people from the apartments came over because they still like to keep in touch with their thinking side of their experience.
Yeah, that digital billboard down there on the storefront, I think that would put something like that.
We used to have like summer forum, which was kind of similar to that, like, because we have like 8 weeks and we have a different speaker each week talking about a different topic. Sometimes it was like some organizations in the area, or like just totally like just different things. That was like Christian and worship kind of planned that every year.
Institute.
Oh, yeah.
That's we were talking about having a game night.
And it's also been on my radar. It's been on my radar.
Has it really? I
Mhm.
always thought about that.
Maybe instead of a game night, in case people don't want to really socialize, but still want to be in company of people, craft night, or something to still express yourself, or there's still space to be around people. You can do your thing.
Yeah, it's better than activity nights, you know, it'd be different.
Game night would be solid.
Yeah, I think about it.
Yes.
Teach fun, I teach fun.
What about times of the week that we can actually do things?
Wednesday.
Wednesdays are the most open for me. Like, we try to have things on Wednesdays, like, we try to have sing-alongs and stuff, and like, nobody came, but maybe
We're just going to sing along.
Well, it's talking about the Halloween one would be on Wednesday, but King, then it was also Halloween week, and so if you're trying to get families to come here, there's hundreds of trick or trunk or treats around the area, so let's see, was that just a bad week to do something, or was it just
Or was it the activity that was the problem?
that part of it?
Seems like most churches have things on Wednesday. Wednesday night dinner.
Yeah, like choir practice.
When I was inviting people to that, almost everybody said, oh, I can't on Wednesdays, I'm booked. And I was going around asking all my friends, would you be up for coming to this? And I'm booked. Wednesday is the busiest night of the week. And I'm like, oh, great, I can't invite anybody to Wednesday night things.
Because people that do sports do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but like,
Oh,
practice is on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So I'm like, I don't know any schedule things.
We could also experiment, just try to do the same thing on 3 different days and see which one brings the most people.
I don't know, I was wondering, because we have so much trouble getting people in here after the evenings, if we should try to do some afternoon, like Saturday afternoon things or something.
We were thinking of putting the carol would you guys be up for committing to a thing? And what would your favorite thing to commit to be?
Can we create an 80 day?
I know, right? What's your best day?
It's funny, back in the day when we had youth groups and stuff like that, it was always, you go to church and then you come back 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, I think people were just way less
Busy.
scheduled.
Yeah.
And, I remember growing up, we had church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday evening, and we always had time to do it all 3. And, it seemed like no matter what else was going on, you always had time to do those. You still had time to do something on Tuesday or a Saturday or whatever. And I really think people are over involved. And then these take up a lot of time, and the big versions, and people don't want to do stuff because they're attached to those. So I think trying to get people to kind of do things, if we can actually get them there, and then maybe they see what it's like to actually interact with people. I'm serious. I mean, as a teacher, guys, I've seen this daily.
So, what day should we try for? Any thoughts? What days would work for you guys?
So,
Wednesdays.
so for me, I guess what I'm saying is because for me, I teach, and in order to get my time in, as a custodian, my Wednesdays are booked because I'm in the jazz band. When basketball season starts, I'm going to have some Tuesdays I can't do it, I'm going to have some Fridays I can't do it. I still have Saturdays every now and then for music things. So I tend to be booked most days during the week from, I leave the house at 6:15, I get home around 9. Just doing all these other things, whether it's jazz band, custodial, school stuff. So I can't say, well, I got this day, this day, this day. It depends on the week. There are going to be some weeks I have nothing available. And when it is available, I'm either sleeping or vegging.
So back to overschedule.
Oh dear.
Well, no, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the custodial work. It doesn't mean that I want to be doing that. I don't want a second job at 61.
And then once we get home, we don't want to leave the house.
Well, sometimes at 61, you get a little tired when you've been working for 12, 13 hours.
Well, I also think since COVID, people are more accustomed to being at home a little longer, for those who haven't completely overlooked. And so they're more protective of their free time as relaxation time. How do you get them to give some of that up? What activity would encourage people to leave the house after they get home from work or on the weekend? Should it be in conjunction with church, or is that making everything crazy because we have the showers before church and everybody's melting down by the end of church? It's this weird balance.
All you can do is ask and invite. Throw things out there, see what people, I guess maybe when we want to invite, say, what would interest you the most?
Well, that's number 3. What would interest you the most?
No, I mean to other people, not to us, to other people. What would interest you to come here and participate? Well, I guess that makes sense.
Okay.
Oh, I usually just go to Jerry.
That's usually what happens.
I mean, we seem to do okay with like our after church potlucks, like, so I don't know if we're gonna try to plan like an activity, maybe there needs to be like a meal involved. Like, okay, we're having craft time, but like also we're gonna feed people a little bit. Cause like, especially on like night time, like on a weeknight, it's really hard to like be like, oh, I gotta like figure out dinner and like everything else too, and then try to be at this thing, and so, I don't know.
At a former church, if there were evening activities like that, it was an annual Lutheran in Old Westport. I think some evenings they would like have a group of traditional like German folk dancers or something like that. And, exactly. Yeah, and they would, I think they would have, a meal or a potluck or something, kind of tagged along with that, at least from what I recall. Yeah, I think, you know.
Food, it comes with
Yes,
food.
it comes with food.
Also, with the game, I think it was if we had pizzas and with it or something that was, it didn't have to be necessarily like everybody has to bring something even sometimes.
Yeah, with that choir night thing.
That's what we were like with the game night, there was pizza and then that. But there's sometimes we forget. It's like Saturday night. But we had some pizza. So, like having pizza is a little easier than, oh, I don't even have to bring anything.
Right.
But it seemed like the consensus was after church on Sundays would be the most
Well,
time for things to happen.
That was for the first group, not for the second group. The second group said no Sundays.
Second grade is the only one to do it.
I mean, I think probably it's like forming small groups. So maybe there's just like a couple of small groups that this is their thing, and there's maybe 4 or 5 people, but then that's
Yeah.
part of forming those little like relationships.
We could offer games and crafts and something else on the same night. You know, so people who move for games and games, if they're moved for crafts, they do crafts. If they're moved for singing, we do singing.
What if you're in the mood for all three?
Then you draw while you sing.
Sing along just invades the craft people.
Yeah, you sing a song about Christ and yell bingo.
Well, our Halloween sing-along was Christmas Carol tunes, but with Halloweenish words to them, and that was fun. I was more amused than I thought I would be.
Ding dong, time to sing and then eat.
I saw that ad this morning. I saw it, yeah.
Everybody's got to pay it to Union Station.
Nancy said, put this in the drawer. What drawer? You get a different stand.
It's just a tablet stand. I camera today because I'm gonna have to rotate around different locations.
Right.
Good, good. We may just have to sing people back in there. You know, I think there's some people trying to get the lunch line early. But not you. Not you.
But when you were in Grenada,
Gather a few more in and we'll sing and bless our meal together. Well, thank you for being flexible and for doing something different.